It is indeed a much-needed relief for Vodafone Idea, a debt-ridden company weighed down by huge adjusted gross revenue dues. The government's relief package for the telecom sector allows Vodafone Idea to defer a cumulative payment of nearly 1 trillion rupees, which means 24,000 to 25,000 crore rupees annually over 4 years. Vodafone Idea has paid the government $1.07 billion in AGR dues, but still owes roughly 50,000 crore rupees. It is saddled with net debt of 1.91 trillion rupees. Here's how the top brokerages reacted to the announcement. And if you read the comments closely, you will get a sense of the situation Vodafone Idea is in. JP Morgan says moratorium ensures Vodafone Idea's survival, tariff hikes are still needed for returns. Jefferies state it's a relief for VIL and could lead to the government taking up a sizable stake in the company. CLSA believes it will result in $11 billion cash flow savings till FY25 for VIL. Edelweiss Securities is of the view that Vodafone Idea will require not only capital infusion but a sizable tariff hike for 4G prepaid customers. Motilal Oswal Securities believe that VIL's ballooning debt and payment after 4 years will be difficult to address. There is no doubt that it's a big relief for the crisis-hit company, helping its cash flows and boosting its survival chances significantly. But there are still some big challenges for the company to tackle.
The fact of the matter is that after 4 years, they have to pay the interest as well as the installments. So it is just postponing the problems that they have for 4 years and giving them enough time. And this is not only enough for them because ultimately they also have to pay their debts. So therefore, they will roughly require around about $10 billion in the next 4 years for buying 5G spectrum, 5G network expansion, upgradation of their 2G to 4G. So they have a lot of other capital expenditure which they have to do. So it is inevitable that they also get 25,000 crores, which they were trying to get through basically a rights issue, basically through getting a strategic investor in place. So that is very crucial. They will also require a substantial increase in tariffs, without which the ARPUs will not increase and therefore the overall revenues will not increase.
Even if the company raises funds in the near future, those funds would be deployed for the network instead of paying government dues. And if Airtel invests heavily on the network, it will automatically put pressure on Vodafone in terms of market share. Now let's hear some of the top experts on the road ahead for Vodafone.
So yes, they did ensure that VI survives, but just about survives with this telecom package, not really thrive. I don't know whether it will help VI turn around, as that would depend on how the ARPUs move up from here on.
Overall, the second player in the industry is likely to be the biggest beneficiary of these announcements, while the third trouble player will require ARPU rise and equity infusion by existing or new players to remain afloat after a few quarters.
The analysts also believe the government could hold anything between 30 to 70% in Vodafone Idea. Just to recall, an equity option was offered by the government for converting the company's dues after a 4-year moratorium. The proposal comprises 2 options. In one, operators have been given the option to convert their interest dues on spectrum and AGR payments after a 4-year moratorium into equity to the government. In the second, only the government has the option to convert the principal amount into equity, to be paid as installments for spectrum and AGR dues for 4 years after the moratorium. But there is a concern that if both options are taken, it will turn VIL into a government company. This in turn would dissuade potential strategic investors from investing in VIL. We now believe the company will continue to scout for new equity investors and invest in technologies including 5G.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.